Let's do the brainstorming about the present day situation when the whole world is reeling under the threat of COVID 19. If we look at the positive side of this situation, don't you think it's a realization time? Don't you realize that the nature is emerging in its true color? When you wake up early in the morning, don't you find clear sky, clean environment, no noise of engines, no emission of gases into air, no disposal of garbage into rivers, water of the rivers are getting clear. And at the same time, the survey which has been conducted recently, that also shows that pollution level also has slackened. So this exactly seems like a call for all human beings to introspect. The poem that we are going to study today, that is Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda, who urges the people to spare only a moment to introspect. This is a call for all human beings who have divided themselves on the basis of races, religions, and nationalities. And it is urged for the poet to all the human beings to introspect what threat they have posed to themselves, the threat they are causing to the environment, and trace out the consequences they are bearing now and they are going to bear in near future. And at the same time also figure out the solutions, the ways to curb this situation. So let's study what message does the poem Keeping Quiet convey. Written by Pablo Neruda. Stanza 1. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. The poet urges everyone to count up to 12 and maintain absolute silence. The number 12 here represents the hour of the day when maximum noise is generated by human activities, or it may also symbolize the month of the year. Both of them depict the time is drowning in the noise created by human beings. He wants all of us to be calm and still. The poet here suggests using no other language than the language of the silence across the nations, as he believes that language creates boundaries of race, religions, and nations. So he urges that they all should keep quiet and speak the language of silence. This will bring unity among all the human beings on the face of the earth. At the same time, he exhorts the reader not to move his arms, either to signal or to fight or argue with each other. The poet has used pun in the word arms. One meaning of arms is the part of the body which are involved in any kind of activity we do. Second meaning of arms is weapons, which is symbolic of violence. The poet here requests not to move our arms, not to speak any language. Literary device that has been used in this stanza is we can call it alliteration. And the part of alliteration, assonance is the part of alliteration when any vowel in any line is repeated in the words, that is called assonance. When any consonant is repeated, it is called consonance. So both of them are the part of alliteration. We can write alliteration or we can write assonance. So in this line now we will count to 12, not move our arms so much. The poet has repeated the letter, the vowel O and E. So it is assonance or you can write alliteration. Stanza 2. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines, we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. When everything will come to a standstill, it will it will be a rare situation. Nobody will be in rush. Engines will not be working. Engines will not be creating any noise. Everyone will be calm and quiet, united with each other in a strange atmosphere. It will be strange because it has never happened before. The poet feels that by his activities, human beings is not harming other creatures only, but to himself also. By observing silence, no person would be harming any other living being, either for food or to earn his livelihood. Here, the fisherman is referring to all the people who are harming the animals in any way. So, once the fisherman will not harm the whales, this innocent creature, which is at the verge of extinction, will at least be protected. All the people who work endlessly will get some time to look at their injuries and the damage they have caused to their body. Hurt hands here imply our self inflicted injuries caused due to our involvement in harmful activities. Used here in these lines are alliteration, we would, W sound is repeated, sudden strangeness, S sound is repeated, his hurt hands, her H sound is repeated. So it is alliteration. You can call it consonants also. Stanza 3. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. The poet asks everyone to stop those activities which are damaging the environment, the nature, the humanity in any way. The people who are involved in any kind of these war, the poet means that we have waged a war against nature, against environment, against humanity, and the people are making money by damaging the environment with these activities such as mining, deforestation, letting the chemical waste into rivers. He also requests people not to involve in wars, as there is no benefit of achieving such victory when there would be nobody left to enjoy that victory. He says so because wars and environmental damage will lead to no life on earth. Here, war with gas means war against humanity. Wars with fire means wars with gas means chemical war. Wars with fire means war against humanities, that is nuclear war. War with green war means war against nature. So rather he wants people to adopt a new approach towards life and mankind. He says that you should treat your enemy like brothers and promote universal brotherhood, peace, harmony. Literary devices used here in these lines are wars with. W sound is repeated. It is alliteration. Clean clothes. C sound is repeated. It is again alliteration. And assonance is also used here, like victory with no survivors. O sound is repeated. Would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. This is assonance because vowels are repeated here in this line. Repetition. is also used in the word war, which has been used twice in these lines. Stanza 4. If we were not so single minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Now, the poet wants to clarify to his readers that when he asks them to stop from saying or doing anything, he doesn't mean that the person should be non active, the person should become idle. He doesn't want that. He says that no truck with death. He doesn't want truck means doubt here. So the readers should not doubt with this word of for a short silence that a person should stop or become idle or should die. It means that he should not involve himself in any kind of destructive activities. Further, he says that people are continuously working to achieve their tasks without even thinking about their results. They are in fear of death and therefore want to achieve most of the things before their death. So he urges them to stop for a while and take some moment to realize that what they have achieved till now is not bringing joy to them. That has only brought sadness to them, which they are not trying to understand. The sadness of not enjoying the things which they have amassed, and they have greed for achieving more, and this greed for achieving more is going to bring their disastrous end. So he makes an appeal, at least they should introspect for a while and analyze the actions they are doing just for their own selfish interest, just for their own happiness. Instead of bringing happiness, those things, materialistic things, are bringing only disaster to them. So poetic device used here, we were means alliteration, so single, that is alliteration again. Stanza 5. Perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. In the last stanza, the poet wants to suggest us to take a teaching from nature. He said even we can take the lesson from the earth. As the earth undergoes changes, the poet has used symbolism here. He has symbolized the earth. As the earth undergoes changes in winter, everything freezes, becomes lifeless. But after some time, the season changes again and everything comes back to life. We can call it imagery also. Just like we can take another example for earth. Once we sow the seeds under the ground, it takes some time to sprout. And by the time when the life is emerging in that seed and it comes out just like a sapling, it looks as if dead. It looks as it has become dead. Similarly, once as it brings life after a little silence, after as life is emerging out of the stillness, out of that silence. Similarly, taking a pause and introspecting into our lives will give it a new meaning. The poet wants that if we take a pause and if we introspect about our activities we are involved in, that will definitely give one direction, one meaning to our life. We will be able to understand the purpose of our life. and it will be like rebirth of the soul. The poet has conveyed to all the people the purpose of his message in the last stanza. So he asks them to think over it again, take a pause, count till 12, and he himself walks out of the scene. Leaving this decision on the reader, he leaves the scene, keeping the scene open for all the people on the earth to experience this for times to come. Thank you.